Okay, so YouTube has started. Instagram looks to be started, so does Facebook. Okay. We're not quite to 4 yet, but that's okay. We're going to go a little early. Make sure everything's running today. Okay, that looks good. YouTube looks good. Okay, Instagram, your turn. Okay, so we have everything going. And I'm just going to put my big screen in front of it. Okay, and here we are at 4 o'clock. Okay, so we are up and running. Today, we're going to talk mostly about Disneyland because they are celebrating a huge milestone as of yesterday. But before we do that, I'm going to fangirl for a minute. Billy Joel, one of my oldest and greatest musical performers, has a new special coming out on HBO. The first half of it drops tonight. The second half of it drops next Friday. He was my first real concert I went to. I went to a couple concerts at the local place where we did lawn seats. That would be the Monkey. Well, no, the Monkeys we were in the pavilion. We did the Beach Boys there, and we were in lawn seats. Shout out to Wendy who went to the Monkeys with me. I think I went with her, but it was a great night. Um, and then my first real concert was Billy Joel. And I went to see him at RFK with some friends from the library. I was actually going to go with the guy I was dating at the time, but he was working overseas and he didn't make it home. So I went with friends from work instead, who are still friends with me today. So it must not have been a bad concert. Actually, it was really cool because it was Elton John and Billy Joel together. Um, and they both did a set, and then they came out at the end and they did a set together where one of them would play the music and the other one would sing the vocals. So Billy Joel would do a Billy Joel song and Elton John would play for it, and then vice versa. So that was really cool. And I got to take my son to see Billy Joel. Um, so he's just kind of always been one of my favorites. So if you are a Billy Joel fan too, then and you have access to HBO, check out his new special. I do not have access to HBO, so I'm hoping that it gets released in some other form at some point, and I actually get to watch it. Okay, so now that I've fangirled over Billy Joel and Elton John, and Elton John did a lot of Disney music, so kind of segues us into Disneyland. And I'm about to cough, so I'm just going to grab my coffee. This is my Disneyland coffee cup. Let me turn it so you guys can actually see. We have the Disneyland Castle. We've got churros. We've got turkey legs. We've got the gray stuff. Citrus swirl, Mickey waffles, LaFou's brew, candy apples, popcorn. Okay, I don't want to scoot that closer actually because it's actually on a mug warmer, and the mug warmer gets really, really hot. No lie, it's got 3 temperature settings. I didn't read the instructions before I plugged it in. I had it on the hottest setting and didn't realize it burned my hand. So we're going to leave that sitting over there, even though I don't have it turned on. Because my kitty cat likes to get on my desk, and I don't want her to get hurt. No burned kitty paws on my watch, please. It was bad enough the other day when the drying rack fell over on the other cat, and I thought he was really, really hurt, and thank God he was okay. But I want to keep my kitties safe for another couple days. I'm still recouping from that last scare. So let's go to Disneyland today because they are celebrating 75 years. And that is a major milestone. I know people, I know places, I know things that don't ever make it to 75. I know lots that do, but there are some that don't. So they started celebrating 75 yesterday. And um, I'm going to talk mainly about them today because they've earned it. I've been to Disneyland twice. I want to get a third trip in, but when you're on the East Coast, it's a lot harder to get out to the West Coast. Last time I did it, I pretty much lost not a full day in travel, but probably 2/3 of a day in travel. I got some of it back because of the time difference. But by the time it was actually nighttime in LA, I was just like, I was done because we got up early to fly out and then kind of same thing on the way back. I felt like I wasted a day on the way back because on the way back I lost time, which made it sort of worse. But I love Disneyland. I wish I was closer to it because if I was, I would go much more often. There's just something really, really magical about being where Walt was, about standing where he stood, about seeing things the way he saw them. And I love Disney World. Don't get me wrong. I like all my Disney parks. But you don't get that same feeling in Walt Disney World that you get in Disneyland and California. California Adventure still has a feel all its own. It's still very special in its own right. But there's something about Disneyland and knowing it was Walt's vision and knowing that Walt saw it come to life and grow and expand and become not quite what it is today, but become, world renowned and commonplace and all the cool things they got to do there. There's just something almost reverent about being there. They have, of course, lots of special stuff. Oh, here comes the cough. Okay, let me get the coffee again. Okay, they have all kinds of special stuff for the 75th. But there are a couple things they've done that I think are really, really cool. So I want to point them out to you so that if you get the opportunity to go while the 75th is still going on, which it'll run into next year, into 2026. I can't believe I'm saying 2026. Um, but there's a new animatronic of Walt Disney. I don't know if you've seen clips of it or anything on social media, but everything I've read about it has been positive. And from what I understand and what I've seen, it looks like they've hit it out of the park with this one. And I think that's great because that means the other animatronics are going to get even better going forward. And I think it's really great that they made a lot of this progress with Walt himself, so to speak. Um, they have at the Main Street Theater, they have special exhibits for the 75th. They have, okay, come on, cough, go away. I haven't coughed all day. I don't know what's up. My eyes have been killing me though, so I'm guessing it's allergy. But I don't know. I'm hoping it goes away now. Now that it's embarrassed me thoroughly. All right. They have never before seen sketches, drawings, models that are part of this exhibit. They have things from the Walt Disney Archives and the Disney Family Archives. And one of the other things I think they've done that's really cool, you go in and you do there's a movie portion and there's the animatronic portion and there's a bunch of displays and stuff you can walk through before you get to that stuff. And then as you leave, there is a salute to the cast members, which I think is just a really, really cool way it's a cool thing to include. It's a cool way to recognize them because, let's be honest, the cast members had a really big part to play over those 75 years. Not that the Imagineers and Walt and all of his teams didn't. They obviously did really great work too. But it's those people that were day to day, out there with the park goers, making it happen that also deserve recognition. So I'm glad that they're getting recognized. Um, don't forget, Paint the Night is back for the 75th. There is new music for the 75th. There's a new World of Color for the 75th. There's all kinds of, oh my God, and the food for the 75th looks great. There's, of course, just like there was, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that Disney World did a whole bunch of really cool food and stuff for the 50th. And then, of course, there was the Disney 100th anniversary. Um, and they both all had really cool food options, and this is not going to be any different. Um, there are special popcorn buckets, there's all kinds of special merch, there's spirit jerseys, there's coffee mugs, there's t-shirts, there's toys, there are plush versions of all the characters in their 75th anniversary attire. So no matter what you collect, there's probably a piece of it that is being recognized for the 75th. Um, but you don't have to collect anything. You can just go to the park and have an awesome time and take your memories home. And that's okay too. And if you're like me and you're really trying to downsize, you probably wish you'd brought a little less back with you from your other trips. But it's what it is. So I'm working through it. But yes, I have my celebration ears on today because we're celebrating Disneyland at the 75th. Let's talk about some of the things that are Disneyland specific, like the Matterhorn bobsleds. Um, if you've ever been there on a sunny day, and I understand California gets quite a few of them, you might notice that the snow on the Matterhorn has a little extra sparkle in it. Yeah, that's on purpose. There is sparkle added to the paint, but I think it's a really cool thing to do it that way and to have it kind of show up and be that way. Um, we can talk about Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which used to be in Walt Disney World but was replaced with Winnie the Pooh. I love Mr. Toad. I, it never ceases to make me smile. There's also, of course, Alice in Wonderland. The teacups are in both parks, but I love the teacups in each park. You would think that I don't like the teacups with my balance issues, but the truth is, as long as I've got somebody to lend me a shoulder while my equilibrium comes back, I love the teacups. Very fun. One of the other things I loved, and this is not in Disney, well, there were a couple things I loved in California Adventure too. So let's talk about them. I love the idea behind PIM, where you can make as little, food in small or large amounts depending on what you need, and there's that cough again, and there's a lot less food waste. I think that's a great thing. I hope that some version of it comes, out into the mainstream. The other thing I really loved at California Adventure, well, Cars Land, of course. It's just really unique. It's really fun. I love, all the Red Rock and the, Flo's Cafe and all the neon. And the food at Flo's was excellent, by the way. The milkshake, as a matter of fact, was so good that I forgot I was sharing it with my son. I had to send him in to buy his own because I'm like, whoops, I drank this one. Here, go get another one. Um, but I also loved Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Um, yes, it is in a lot of ways very similar to Tower of Terror, but it is also totally different. Um, if you've watched any of the Guardians movies, then you know how important music is to Star Lord, otherwise known as Peter Quill. And that love of music gets infused in Mission Breakout in sort of the same way it does in Epcot, but sort of also not. Um, but when you do Mission Breakout, Rocket is in charge. So you can just imagine. I do not really like rides with drops. I'm going to be honest. They are like bottom of my list. But I loved the feel and the vibe and the positivity and the lightheartedness and the joy that you experience on Mission Breakout. Um, it feels very different than Tower of Terror. Um, they almost, I know they're built similarly, but they almost feel like two totally different rides, and I know they're supposed to do that. So yay, Disney, you did that very well. Um, there's something else I loved in California, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm blanking now. I also love the statue of Walt Disney that you can go up and we did photo pass photos, and we actually got to whisper in his ear. I love the fact that there's a time capsule at California Adventure that hasn't been opened yet. I'm not sure I'm going to be around when it gets opened, but if I am, I'm going to be very curious to see what's in there. Um, but I love Disneyland for a totally different host of reasons than why I love Walt Disney World. Um, but I adore them both, and I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. I think there are different reasons each park is going to appeal, and whichever park appeals to you is the most is the one you should visit, or you should visit each one every couple of years or something. But there's a lot to love in Disneyland. So, on that note, we're going to send Disneyland off to continue celebrating its 75th. If you would rather cruise than do a theme park, there are some cruise deals out there. Disney Cruise Line has deals, so does Virgin Voyages, so does Viking River Cruises. Um, Celebrity also has them. Pretty much any cruise line you want to cruise on has some kind of deal now. So it really just depends on where and when you want to go. If you want to do the holidays at Disney World, there are discounted room and ticket packages available. If a holiday visit with Mickey and Minnie and Pluto and Donald and all your other favorite pals, oh, this cough, can be the end of me. Um, those deals are there. So if any of that stuff is on your bucket list, I'd be happy to help you plan it. Don't forget Epic Universe is open, so you now have the three Harry Potter worlds because Ministry of Magic is in Epic. So you now have three Harry Potter universes to explore. Halloween Horror Nights and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party tickets are on sale. Um, Christmas tickets for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and Jollywood Nights will be going on sale before the end of the month. So if that's something you want to do, and if you already have a reservation booked, um, you have an early tickets for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and Jollywood Nights will be available to you a little sooner because you are already a resort guest. So if any of that is appealing to you, if you want to do holiday season, um, if you're already sort of looking ahead to spring break in the back of your mind and you want to get a little info, I'd be happy to help you with that too. So reach out to me if I can help you. Everybody, I know we've had some rough weather. I had some wicked storms Wednesday night here in my little corner of the world. So if you're in the path of any weather, stay safe. If you're cleaning up from any weather, I hope that things start going in the right direction. And I will see everybody next Friday. If I can help you travel, if you have any questions, don't forget I am differently abled, so I am happy to answer those kinds of questions. Um, so let me know how I can help you, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.